Hey, what's going on guys, it's Chum here, and once again we have some more brand new leaked information from the June 11, 2018 update for Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links, and today we have some pretty incredible information, if I do say so myself. Now to kick off these leaks, the first thing we have is the Structure Deck EX Spellbound Silence, and as you guys can see here, we have some Silent Magician base cards, and of course the subtitle of this box of course is Hidden Power Resides Within This New Series of Structure Decks, and the new series of structure decks, to me, are very, very awesome. But before we jump into exactly what it means for a structure deck to be EX, let's talk about the brand new cards coming in this box. Now the first card that we have here, which you could consider to be the cover card of the box, is Silent Magician, a level 4 light spellcaster with 1000 attack and 1000 defense. However, don't let these stats fool you, this card is actually really incredible. So let's start off by reading its effect. It cannot be normal summoned or set, and must be special summoned from your hand by attributing one spellcaster type monster, and cannot be special summoned by other ways. Now, this is actually super easy. You can simply throw down a spellcaster monster, any spellcaster monster, attribute it to get Silent Magician on the field, which is super awesome. Then moving on to the next part of its effect, this card gains 500 attack for each card in your hand. Now, let's say we went with the previous scenario I just mentioned, you have 4 cards in hand on the starting turn, you summon one, tribute that, and then you get this on the field. This thing's going to have 2000 attack because of the effect, so it's a pretty powerful 4-star when you have a good amount of cards in your hand. Then moving on, once per turn during either player's turn, when a spell card is activated, you can negate the activation. So this is very powerful. Once per turn spell negation is super amazing because it can really slow down people's plays and honestly even prevent them from actually continuing and eventually taking you out. So very powerful. Spell negation has been in the game for quite a while now, and this is a very easy spell negator to get on the field. As I mentioned, summon one, tribute one, boom, you're there negating spells once per turn during either player's turn for no cost. Now moving on to the next part of this card's effect, I know it's a very long one. If this card is destroyed by battle, or if this card in its owner's possession is destroyed by an opponent's card effect, you can special summon one Silent Magician monster from your hand or deck except Silent Magician itself, ignoring its summoning condition. So this card is absolutely amazing because while it's on the field, it's going to do some work. Gains attack for the cards in your hand, negates spell cards, and then when it's destroyed in pretty much any manner, you can get another Silent Magician out from your deck. And this, I believe, should include Silent Magician level 8, which means you can go from this straight to 8, which is kind of crazy. I love it. I've always loved this card ever since I knew it was the thing, and I'm really glad that it's finally come to Duel Links, because it means that Silent Magicians are going to be relevant in some sense. Maybe not meta, but I'm definitely looking forward to this buff to the deck. Now moving on to the next card that we can see on this Structure Deck's banner, we have Goldsarcophagus, another ultra rare card, and this of course is a spell card, and the effect reads, banish one card from your deck face up. During your second standby phase after this card's activation, add that card to your hand. So this card is absolutely incredible, super awesome to have this card in Duel Links because this card can search anything. Of course, it does take a while to get to you, and these days in Duel Links, I feel as though you're not really going to make it to your second standby phase after this card's activation. But if you happen to be running some kind of powerful store deck, this card can be super useful. Although, again, I feel as though if you want to search any one card from your deck, just use Destiny Draw and some life point gaining cards. I'm sure you'll have an easier time. But regardless, it is super cool to have this card in the game. Now that we've covered the 2 new cards on this Structure Deck's banner, let's talk about the 2 cards on the right. As you guys can see, this banner also features Silent Magician level 8 and Silent Burning. 2 cards that have already been in the game for a very long time and were given to us through boxes, which of course meant you had to buy packs to get them. However, as you guys can see, these cards are effectively getting reprinted, as you'd say in the TCG, in this Structure Deck, which I think is absolutely awesome. The first time we saw, like I said, quote-unquote reprinting was in the collection boxes that we've seen twice with the collection box main and collection box mini, and here of course we have some more reprints, which I think is absolutely amazing. And of course I believe that's what makes this Structure Deck so different, of course it being an EX Structure Deck instead of a regular Structure Deck, and of course the hidden power that resides in this new series of Structure Decks is the power of reprinting, because I can undoubtedly say that Silent Magician level 8 is going to be a much easier card to get because, of course, as I mentioned, it's guaranteed, or it should be guaranteed, in this Structure Deck. So I think that is super exciting. I absolutely love the fact they're doing this because it makes this game feel a little bit more like the TCG, which is super awesome. And it means that really old cards that might not be worth getting because the boxes contain outdated cards, but the URs and the SRs might be really good, This is going to be a good way to get those sorts of cards to players without them having to invest a butt ton or even having the chance not to get it, like with the collection boxes in which you can only buy a certain amount with gems, and then from there you have to pay quite a hefty amount of money to get even more packs. So this is going to be super cool, guaranteed ultra rares and maybe even super rares from previous boxes. So far I'm loving Structure Deck EXs. Now, this Structure Deck EX isn't the only thing that has been leaked in this most recent update. We have a few more cards that were leaked, and to be honest, I think these cards seem pretty incredible. The first of which is the ultra rare Cypher Soldier, previously known as Kinetic Soldier. You guys can see it on screen here. Is a level 3 Earth Machine monster with 1350 attack and 1800 defense, and this card has a wonderful effect. If this card battles a warrior type monster, during damage calculation, this card gains 2000 attack and defense for that damage calculation only. Now, this is absolutely crazy. You might think this is very specialized, like it only is good against warriors. You're not wrong, but think of the meta these days. We have Amazonas, and we have Mars Heroes, which are a little less relevant, but still, 2 warrior decks which can kind of get blown back by this card. He is 3350 when hitting a warrior, and as you guys know, Amazonas can be really annoying because when you attack their monsters, you're going to do some damage, sure, but your monster's going to get banished. All it takes is 2 Cypher Soldier attacks over Princess to defeat your opponent. I'm not kidding. 3350 over 1200, easy, over 2k damage, 2 hits, done, game. Even if they banish your card, it doesn't matter. I think this card is absolutely amazing. The only problem with it, of course, is it's going to be dead when you're in other matchups, so I'm not sure how this card is really going to play that well into the meta, but regardless, I think, hey, if you're going up against a friend and you know what kind of cards are running, this is going to be absolutely amazing to counter any kind of warrior deck. I absolutely love this card being added to the game, and judging by the way these cards have been leaked, the only cards that we got outside of the structure deck are a single ultra rare, a single super rare, and a single rare, which makes me think that these cards could potentially be in a card trade update, which is awesome, because this card, if you're going to run it, you're going to want it at 3, and the card trader is the best way to get 3 of an ultra rare. Then moving on to the next card that we have leaked in this box, we have the super rare trap card, Debunk, which I think is going to be super incredible, even more incredible than our soldier friend. Now this card, of course, is a trap card, a counter trap card at that, and its effect reads, when a monster effect is activated in the hand or graveyard, negate the activation, and if you do, banish it. Now this is absolutely incredible. As you guys know, the meta is full of some very, very crazy cards that activate from their hand and from the graveyard. 2 specific cards that might come to mind are World Carrot Weight Champion and Rose Lover. Both cards activate from the graveyard and are very, very, very key cards in the Sylvan deck, and it's really, really cool to see that we're getting some really powerful stuff to actually negate that. Negating a Rose Lover is more than likely going to stop your opponent's turn as a whole. And I think this is absolutely incredible. And of course, while trap cards normally don't stop Rose Lover because the monster's immune to traps, stopping Rose Lover's effect means the monster never even hits the field. So this card is going to be super useful. And another thing to take into account is that it doesn't only stop these kind of cards. Any kind of hand trap monster effect. So something that would activate an effect to summon itself, that of course is activating from the hand. Then of course you have other cards like Karibo, Sphere Karibo. And these are all monster effects that activate from the hand, so you can use this Debunk card to negate it and banish it. And the best part, again, is that this card is free. There is no cost. As long as the conditions are met, monster effect from graveyard to hand, which I think is actually quite likely. In fact, Celestial, Destiny Hero Celestial, also activates from the graveyard, which is one of the best methods for Mars Hero players to actually make comebacks if they ended up getting destroyed or stalled throughout the earlier parts of the game. So this card can even shut them down, which is kind of ridiculous. And another card, you have your wonderful Amazonas Tiger, or Pet Tiger, Baby Tiger, whatever it's called. That thing also activates in the graveyard, so you can banish it with Debunk. So this card, as far as I can tell, is effective against the entire meta. So I definitely want to grab a few copies of this card. And again, I hope this card is going to be part of the next card trade update, because it'll make it much easier to get our hands on it. And then moving on to the final card, which is probably going to be a little bit of a letdown to most people because it is honestly a very, very random card. We have the rare card, Tryhorn Dragon. I believe this is a level 8 monster, a normal monster at that, a dragon normal, with 2850 attack and 3250 defense. And its description is honestly exactly as it should be. An unworthy dragon with 3 sharp horns spouting from its head. This card, I don't think it has any kind of real support. It's just here as another card that you can splash in your deck, and if you really want to be a meme and run this card instead of something like Blue Eyes, more power to ya. Now moving on to the final card that we have for this league is another rare card, a trap card called Asleep at the Switch. And this card's effect reads, when your opponent gains life points, target one monster your opponent controls and destroy that target. Now this card, I don't think it's going to see play at this stage of the game. However, one thing you have to take into account is that if a Roam Mage has ever become a super meta, this card is going to be your one big counter, so make sure you get your hands on it in case it ever happens, because trust me, if Roam Mages get the support that they have out there that could potentially come to this game, they're going to be very, very powerful. Either way, guys, so that's going to wrap things up for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you hit that like button. And of course, if you guys want to see more Yu-Gi-Oh! League videos in the future, hit that subscribe button also, because I'll be sure to make videos on all the brand new leagues as the information comes out. Either way, I want to thank you for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed. And until next time, I hope you have a wonderful day.